Editing OB here. Just coming off the bat, this video is really late because I forgot my hard drive, my portable hard drive. So yeah, y'all are getting this really late, but this is what I ended up getting for Christmas, so let's go. Hey y'all, welcome back. It's the first video since Vlogmas. I thought I would do a little get ready with me as I'm sitting in my childhood bedroom. A couple of people had asked for what I got for Christmas, and I will preface this by saying that, two things. One, the big reason I didn't get a lot of physical things because I'm going to be moving soon. And so the biggest gift I got was my parents paying for my flight to come back home, which was a whole thing. I'll probably do a different video about how you never want to fly with me. And then also, because I'm going to be moving soon, I'll be moving from my apartment in Kentucky back home at some point, and then moving to wherever I find a job. Those combined, that's a lot of moving in a short amount of time, and my car is not that big. So, they didn't want to give me a lot of things until I've moved, I have a place I can figure out, and even in those cases, I may just be like, hey, money so I can buy stuff. Because furniture, because I have no furniture to my name. I used to have a futon, but I had to give that up when I moved to Kentucky. So thought I'd do a little bit of makeup because I actually haven't really done my makeup since I've been back, despite liking to do makeup, but just timing usually, because by the time I actually would get up to go do things, I need to be out the door. It's bad. But yeah, so like I said, I didn't get a whole lot of physical things this year, so I'd also think I'd mention some of the gifts I got other people. I also think about some of the gifts I've gotten for others over the years, because I love gift giving. I like figuring out what would work for others. That is a big thing that I like to do. Also, I had nothing pulled out beforehand. The big gift I got was my flight back home, because I've been having to pay for my own flights since I started grad school. Sorry, waterline always takes a sec. But yeah, so besides that, the other big gift I got, did I actually bring it down here or maybe not? I ended up getting this perfume because I've really been getting into perfumes. I bought myself a lot of samples. I got the 1 ounce version of the Hermes Jardin de Nil, and it's a very green, fresh fragrance, and I really like it. The longevity, at least the one time I have worn it, has not been absolutely incredible, but also I didn't spray a lot because this is not a particular, Hermes is not a particularly cheap brand, so, and I don't want to overpower because, for example, my mother is sensitive to scents, so I want to be mindful of that. And I'm trying to think of what makeup I want to do today, because again, I don't know if I'm actually going to be going out at all after this, because we already went out for breakfast this morning with a family friend from church, because that's what my parents have done since the pandemic. Didn't do my makeup then. Don't know what I'm going to be doing later today. Maybe going to the grocery store, but it's a lazy Sunday morning or afternoon at this point. But yeah, so that was the big gift I got, physical gift. The other things I got were the Sight Seekers or Seekers game, because that's a big thing that my family likes to do, is these escape room games. I actually humorously, for my sister, and I don't think she's watching this, was the exit games. So I got her 2 of these. She actually has introduced that to the family, so we got something similar. And so both my dad and I got these Seekers, and we did the Seeker, my dad's version. Mine is Route 66. My dad's was Petra, because my parents have been wanting to go to Petra for years, for about 6-7 years now. They've wanted to go to Petra, and they just haven't been able to. We did the Petra, which I will say, if you are sensitive to scents, do not do. I'm not super duper sensitive to scents, but they literally at one point had sticks of myrrh. They give out these incense, and it's myrrh. It is solid myrrh, and I was starting to get a headache from it. So just be aware of that. Mine is Route 66, because actually that is a thing that I am thinking about. I've always wanted to do, or wanted to do for a long time. I blame cars. That was the big reason. right now I don't have many mirrors, so that's why I'm using what I have. But yeah, so that was a big one. So when I get back home, we're back to Kentucky. I will probably meet up with friends and we'll do the Route 66 puzzle. It'll be fun. And then the other thing I got, it's right behind me, I think. This was one of the main packages I got, which are these motion sickness glasses, which honestly, I don't get motion sickness, but I do get vertigo. So my mom had seen that these were good for vertigo. So we'll check it out. I haven't had a vertigo incident in, say 2 years, but also some of the main periods of time that I will get vertigo, I hadn't been outside enough to get the allergy attacks that would cause vertigo. So yeah, that's the big reasoning behind it. Well, I haven't had an attack in a couple years, but like it was bad enough that I've had to go on medication for the vertigo. I've had to get effectively a type of Dramamine to help with the movement. It was really bad when I worked in Seattle, because I was working around heavy chemicals and I was dealing with vertigo. So that was not the best. And then the funniest gift, and this was partially it was used as a container to hold a ornament from my nibbling of their little feet in the salt dough. Well, not very little. The nibbling is very tall. Was these koozies for your ice cream. So they came in a pack of 3. So there was one for my parents, one for my other sibling, and then one for me. My parents got vanilla, which was perfect because my mom is always specific that you've got to try the vanilla before anything else. I got strawberry. I think partially because I was the youngest, so got the 3rd. But then also, we used to grow strawberries in our backyard when I was little. We had to stop because I would eat the green ones. I don't know why. I literally was too young to remember this, but my family will not let me live that one down. Years later, 22 years later, I'm not able to live that one down. So those were the gifts I really got this year. Again, like I said, I know they're going to be given gifts once I move. Also, in this whole thing, my birthday's at the end of January, so sometimes what'll happen is they just combine gifts together. So I'll get a really big ticket item that counts for both birthday and Christmas. So that may be what's going on. For the gifts I actually got family. So with my family this year, it's been a very hectic year. The fact that I have a sibling on deployment, and then my other sibling had a child. That just that means that nobody had a lot of bandwidth. I ended up, because once my defense was over, I had enough bandwidth to start really taking control of the gift giving this year. I was in charge of almost all of it. The only thing I didn't buy, I was not the initial purchaser for, were these lights for my mother for when she was sewing. Everything else, I was the one to kind of think up and do. It was my dad's idea to initially get the lights, but the children bought it. So with that being said, like I said, we got the lights. The other thing we got from my mother was this quince dress, because she goes to Sunday or Wednesday service pretty much weekly. That is her. She doesn't do Sunday mass typically, but she will go to Wednesday. And she always insists on wearing a dress. That was actually a thing growing up, is I had to wear at least a skirt to church, no matter what. A little bit annoying because I couldn't then play. It was a little bit harder to play with my friends at church. But yeah, she always wore a dress, so we thought she needed a new dress. And it worked out well because she was taught literally while we were at South Coast Plaza at one point since I've been home. She's like, oh, I need a new dress to replace one. It's not a good replacement dress, but now she has another dress in her rotation that's cashmere, which that was a big thing, is she is a huge proponent of wools and cashmere and natural fibers. We made sure that was that. She also actually has some other items from Quince, but I don't know if she wears them that often. The woman always runs cold, so we got her that. For my dad, we got him the Neely, the Old Jet Brothers bourbon. Picked that up for him. Initially, I thought I was getting the French Chateau. which was my favorite. And I grabbed from the French Chateau area, but it was the rum cask, which I think is better because he likes a sweeter bourbon. And so having it with the rum has a sugar to it. I just don't remember if it's their wheated bourbon or their rye bourbon. I will check when I'm editing this. That one he was very excited about. We also got him this jacket because he used to have this jacket that was a really thin material, and he liked it because it was just something light enough. And it was a hoodie, and it took him literal years to find it. And then he proceeded to lose it, I think at Disneyland, which is a very my parent coded thing to do. Yeah, so I searched for a new one. That one took forever, and actually, because I'd ordered one version, I ordered it once, that order got canceled. I reordered it, but I didn't trust the reorder, so I ordered it from a completely different shop also, because it was only online. And yeah, because and you're wondering how did I know that it worked, is because when I was at that mall in Cincinnati, they had another version of that jacket, so I could feel the texture, and I was like, this is right, just wasn't the right size. So that's why I had to order it. New version is supposed to come in today, so I'm gonna have to return it, which I feel really bad about, but I'm also like, Nordstrom, which is the place I was gonna order from originally, they had such a backup on their deliveries that I was like, this is not gonna get in time for Christmas. So those were the two for my parents. I'm gonna pause for 1 sec. Eyeliner on, also just had to kind of clear up some shadow, probably using a highlighter palette or illuminating palette that is way too old because it's from here, but it hadn't been touched really, so I'm just gonna hope. And like I mentioned, I got for the one sibling the 2 exit games. They're just board games, are really useful. Also, yes, I'm drinking out of a normal water bottle. I'm reusing it because I left my reusable back in Kentucky. So this was something I picked up at the airport, and I've just been drinking out of that the entire time because I might as well make sure it's not a single use. It's been at least a 10, 11 use. Got that sibling those games, as well as the Mount Rainier knitting. That was one that I got for them, and then the other being, I'm gonna use my phone just to do foundation. And yeah, got the Mount Rainier, and then the best of for the crossword puzzles from the New York Times, because at one point they used to ask me to email them crossword puzzles daily. So I thought that would be a good one for them, and it's a smaller book. So that was their gifts. That was the one where I had to fill out the customs forms, which, yeah, no, I did. When I mentioned that to my mother, she's like, oh yeah, that's a whole thing. And I was like, oh, that would have been great to know beforehand, so I would have been slightly more on top of it. I would have thought about figuring out the Christmas gifts in like July before everything got crazy. So now I know, because like the last time it was like August when we'd figured out all the gifts for this sibling, so they had it all beforehand. But also it was like the fact that they were going to be on deployment over their birthday, so that was why we'd also like been really on top of it, and this time not as much. That sibling's gifts. And then I got for my other sibling 2 needle minders, which are little not questionable in like, I thought back on it and I'm like, this is a mildly questionable because like it's useful for them to have the needle minders because they like to do needlepoint and cross stitch. But it was questionable in the fact that these are magnets. They have a small child at home. I know my sibling will keep it away, but I went, oh gosh, because magnets are so dangerous for small children. And my nibbling is at the point where they are putting everything in their mouth. Like literally while we were on the video call for Christmas, they were eating the wrapping paper, or they were attempting to, and we're like those. So yeah, but I got them the 2 needle minders and they were fun. I also ended up that came with some stickers and all that because I got them via Etsy. The other thing I got them, I got them the L'Occitane hand lotion, again because they've got a baby. They're washing their hands a lot, and the hand cream is like a thing at the very end of the night, which is just like a nice relaxation, and it's the only scented stuff they can really use because they know they're not going to be touching the baby anytime soon. Those 2 are big ones. And then for my brother-in-law, I got him the orchid, which apparently he could not find the orchid Legos himself, but yeah, I was able to find them on Black Friday at the Barnes & Noble in Fayette Mall. And I gave a donation to, like a sizable donation in their name to an organization that they care about. And for my nibbling, they got a dinosaur book. I forgot which dinosaur book I got, but they got a dinosaur book because I insist on them only getting dinosaur things, because what small child does not like dinosaurs? And then also, I got them the IKEA Stegosaurus. Again, dinosaurs. And the fun thing with IKEA is that all of their stuffed animals the eyes are stitched, which I prefer, like that it's embroidered instead of a like hard plastic. It's gonna be less of a choke hazard, which is a big thing. So I got them that. And then for the dogs, I got 2 toys, and apparently the whiskey bottle was a very big favorite. Like, she was crying, she wanted it so badly. The other toy, which was that like reindeer, was a little freaky to her, apparently, to the dog. She did not like that one as much, or at least not looking at the face of it. Those were the big gifts I got them. I mean, it was a pretty low-key Christmas because we're all getting up there. My parents are always really hard to buy for because they have everything they need. And at this point, they are also working to declutter their house. My dad was literally like, if there is things you want to take them. We do not need it here. So, yeah, that'll be good for me because, again, I'm trying to be environmentally friendly and financially conscious. So, yeah. Okay. I think that gives me a little bit of a flush. Maybe a teensy bit more. I'm worried about being blush blind, but also I just do not know. I'm also trying to do everything where I put it initially on my hand because I'd seen something where that's more what like makeup artists do. Because I'll be honest, I really want to spend 2025 working to be the best version of Obi that I can be. Like, really starting to figure out who the heck Obi is because I don't know. Figure that out. That's why I've been going down a lot of rabbit holes on a lot of things. One of them has been perfumes, because like I got a perfume for Christmas, and that's one that I wanted, because initially it reminded me of a perfume I got as a very small child. It was just the Minnie Mouse perfume, the one that like Disney sells. I got that when I was probably about 5 or so from my thought process, as I think I got it from my grandfather. Like, my aunt purchased it and he just put his name on it because he didn't know what to get a little girl. Like, most of the gifts from him were usually either he sent the money to my mom and she bought it for me, or he just went to my aunt and she told him what to get me. Because her daughter is like 5 years older than me, so she had a pulse a little bit even more than my mom did on what was like popular for girls at the time. And so it just evoked that, and that was a very sweet memory for me. I still may actually buy just like the normal version of that Minnie Mouse perfume because mine still hasn't gone bad, so I can test it, compare it, but I think the color's gone off. And I found a similar version of the perfume that I had, because mine wasn't a winter kit thing. And I found the summer version actually on eBay, and it's still there, and I'm almost like, do I buy it? But I have no reason to have it. But I've really gotten into perfumes and some of the niche houses, and I've bought a couple of samples of things to compare, figure out, because I'd like to have a couple of different perfumes that I rotate among. I have found that like I still like my Le Labo Rose 31, which I have a sizable dent in it, and I'm probably actually going to pick up another sample kit of Le Labo at some point, like their specific sample kit, because there are some other scents of theirs that I've not tried that I want, and they have another thing in the rose, so I can see really if I want to later on spend $100, almost $300, because the full bottle is like $300 for Le Labo. Yeah, that is something I'm just like, I really like that rose, because for me that rose scent from Le Labo has a strong rose, but also I get incense. Actually, I know that's not in the notes, but I get a very strong incense vibe, so it feels like I am in a rose garden at a church on a high holiday. So that was one that I'm looking at, but I've also ordered a couple others, and you will see which ones I've gotten over the next like couple of months as I figure out what I want my couple of scents to be. And I like the idea of going to a niche perfumery for those. I'm waiting for Clue to have their samples back in stock because I really want to try all of theirs. They look really interesting. Mostly I'm intrigued by a warm bulb, but also their other scents sound really good too. There are just so many I'm curious about, and it's very interesting to read about, so I'd love to learn more. But the same thing with like leather goods, cookware too. So I have some really nice cookware because I want to get into cooking more. Like I just want to be the best version of me. Like heck, I'm even looking at what kind of blow dryers to get, but low wattage, because my dad has been like had shown me how much energy it takes by like using the blow dryer to draw energy on the generator, and after that even more made me be like, oh, I don't want to use a blow dryer, that uses way too much energy. But like have something, because it's better for your hair to at least partially use a blow dryer. So just figuring everything out. Let's see, I think actually I will use this darker lip. This has been a lip oil that it's like a glossy lip that I like these vampier colors. I always have. I mean, I'm literally wearing a vampy color right now. In my thought process, I'll probably talk more about how I want to improve like me, how I figure out who Ovi is, because I think honestly I am a old money kind of girl, but like actually doing a lot of the research so I make sure I'm buying really quality stuff, not just like quality for the name that makes you think it's quality. Also, I think my parents still have Consumer Report, so I may be able to use that too. Okay, so that is the look for today. Again, I don't have any other plans for the day, but it makes me look cute. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!